I'm astrologer and psychic Victoria Bearden, and you can find me at astrologysandiego.com. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on with the planets. I think everybody can tell that we're at one of those big pivot points in civilization. And I think sometimes you can look back and say, well, isn't it always that way? You know, it's sort of a big drama fest here down on Earth, isn't it? But we are at kind of a crucial turning point, and I want to describe it in some clear terms that are also hopefully going to give some optimism, because I've heard a lot of people, feel really unsettled and almost pessimistic lately. And I do think that the future is not set in stone. And where you put your consciousness and what you believe and the actions you take, well, we can write a new chapter if enough people do that. So I really want to kind of throw that out there and let people know that that's my philosophy. I don't think things are predestined, but I do think that we get major previews about the driving themes behind what is creating our destiny. And astrology and intuitive work, that's one of the ways that we kind of get the previews of the movie that we might be seeing. And so, what I'm going to be talking about is what's going on this year, 2019, and of course, the big looming 2020. That's going to be a really big pivot point. Some people say that we'll, at one point later in history, we'll be looking back at what happened before 2020 and after 2020. It'll be one of those like, okay, that's a line in the sand. And it's very exciting and interesting. Let's start with right now. So right now, Saturn and Pluto are doing a little dirty dancing together. They have come into alignment in the same sign, and that's the sign of Capricorn. By the way, for you Capricorns out there, particularly if your birthday is, I don't know, around the 9th, 10th, or 11th, this is a big time for you. These planets are aligning with you. Also, people that were born in, I'm thinking, it's between 90 and 96, those people, the Capricorn alignment that they were born under is being reactivated. So lots of big shifts of consciousness going on with certain groups of people, but for everybody too. Let me get back on track with the Capricorn vibe though. So we got Saturn, which is authority, structure, order. We have Pluto, which is just raw, sheer power. We have these two coming together in that sign, Capricorn. It's an earth sign, really serious, authoritarian even. Capricorn actually represents conservatism very much. And also, there's some good things about Capricorn. I don't want to make it sound like it's just very severe, but it's pretty. I think about Capricorn and I think, oh boy, this is the reality check. This is a wake up call. Capricorn doesn't mess around with fluff. We have to look at what's really going on, and that's going to be one of the keys to how we work with this energy. But Pluto and Saturn together, those are kind of heavy duty energies. They're not warm and fuzzy. And Capricorn's not a warm and fuzzy sign. Sorry guys, I'm a Capricorn. I'm allowed to say these things about my own sign. So what does it all mean? Well, what's happening is we're having a civilizational shift. We're having one of those impactful times. And it's all about the use of power or the abuse of power, and also resources. Because Capricorn's all about how much money's in the coffers, how much food is in the larder, how much do I have, and what do I have, and what don't I have, and working within limitations or trying to push past limitations and make things more powerful. So on the positive side of that, dealing with reality and looking at what's really going on and maybe the diminishing natural resources that we're being faced with, or problems with food production, or maybe, looking at these things realistically and think like, oh, well, that Capricorn energy could be really good if we get our acts together and take responsibility. Well, that absolutely is true. But the other side of it is also true, that the greed factor and people wanting to make a big grab for power or a bid for power and throw the morals and the ethics out the window and use the resources of the world on the planet to enrich themselves. That negative tendency of the Saturn Pluto Capricorn deal is also rampant right now. So we got the two sides. We're going to take the moral, ethical high ground. Are the people in power that are the good people going to rise to the occasion and do the right thing, and or are the people that are in power, and I'm talking, globally. This is happening all over, and you can see it. You can see it in a number of different countries, and especially here in the U.S. But are the people that are really just honestly in it for themselves, or are willing to, allow a lot of collateral damage if it's enriching certain things that they want? Are they going to be the ones who are the custodians of, you know, the power that is being wielded? So that is what is at stake. And as we go into 2019, 2020, and even, for years to come, what happens now is going to make a big difference on where the world goes and where we humans end up. So it's a big deal.